Thank you, Congressman. We look forward to speaking with you about the race in New Jersey in just a moment. Hogan Gidley, we lost him. And so, if you don't mind, I'd just like to continue the conversation quickly about welfare benefits for criminal aliens. There's obviously welfare fraud for American citizens as well. But at the very least, would you be in favor of Congress ensuring that none of the treasure of the American people gets feted out to criminal aliens as goodies to vote for Democrats and to move to Democrat districts?
Of course, I would be in favor of that, and so would the very vast majority of Americans. I mean, here's the deal. When we're wasting money like that, we're hurting our own American people, whether they are legal immigrants or whether they are people that have been here for 10 generations. The point is, it's wrong, it's breaking the law. And even with the Medicaid argument, you know, when I spoke to President Trump a number of times about Medicaid, and I've spoken to him about the issues we're talking about today too, and it's working with a scalpel. So should we just end all SNAP? No. You know, a lot of our voters, we are a new Republican Party, conservative and populist at the same time, caring about working people. And people do hit bumps in the road now and then, but it's not to mean meant to be a permanent subsidy. It means that you're helped for a little while, you get back on your feet, you're working, and then things return to normal. We've made it a way of life, number one. Number two, we're giving it to people illegally. And that was the deal with Medicaid. Think about it. They still, you know, the left likes to say that we cut Medicaid, that we took millions off. It's so inaccurate what they say. It hasn't even started yet, number one. Number two, no, we're still taking care of the seniors, still taking care of the disabled, still taking care of people that have certain illnesses and diseases and so forth. We're helping people. We're doing what Medicaid should do. But what we're not doing is saying that you can be some 25-year-old healthy guy that's just drinking beer and doing drugs all day and get Medicaid. That's wrong. And by the way, when they say how harsh and mean we were, think about this, Benny. All that we said was, if you are receiving Medicaid and you're able-bodied and healthy, you either have to work 20 hours a week. Man, my whole life I worked a lot more than 20 hours a week. Or you've got to make sure that you're trying to increase your education, get your GED, get your college, whatever it is, online, and prove that you're doing. Or volunteer for 20 hours a week for any kind of a good charity. I mean, you can pet dogs at the Humane Society. For God's sake, we couldn't have been easier about it, and we're accused of being draconian and horrible. No, we're trying to help. We're trying to help American people, good, working, decent people who are getting ripped off.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you are looking at a 90-10, maybe a 95-5 issue if Republicans just said, yeah, we're just going to stop putting criminal aliens into the United States Treasury to plunder it. I just like because there's seniors out there that are like, wait a second. So there's some Haitian with $20,000 on an EBT card and I get $800 a month. I worked 40 years. I broke my neck and my back for this country. I bought in, I got a mortgage. I raised kids. I sent them to school. And this is all I get. And somebody who's never been here, somebody who's not illegal, somebody who's a criminal, sitting there living, you can get caviar, you can get lobster tails, you can get truffles on EBT. And a lot of them are, and they're rubbing it on our face, Congressman, and TikTok. We've played a bunch of the TikToks this morning.
Think about how good
it's an insult.
Working, decent Americans and retired people and seniors feel. There really are older people that live only on Social Security and are doing their best and worked hard their whole life. Many of them served our military. There are good people. And then they look at this, these new people coming in, and not all of them, the people who are coming in legally are decent people. We're talking about a different group of people. They've been indicted or convicted at their country of origin or in the United States. Some were on the terror watch list. Some were guilty of violent crime, committed violent crime. They hate America. They say, we don't like America, we hate it. Oh, but by the way, we're going to rip you off. We're going to take your food stamps. We're going to take your clothing. We're going to take your travel expenses. And yeah, you know what, just for the hell of it, we're going to take some courses at a college. And for those states like New Jersey that are sanctuary states, the state may very well be paying for it. Meanwhile, hardworking middle class people who are trying to support their kids and trying to do good things and send their kids to college the right way are getting more and more in debt. Come on, that's wrong.
Totally wrong. So final question on this, but You've been on both sides of the aisle. You know Congress very well. I don't know which term you're in, a congressman, but
I'm in my seventh year, my fourth
seventh
term.
year. So that you know spring chicken, you know the way around Congress. What would be your solution here in order to tell the American people, especially young kids, that you're serious about fixing this problem? Because what you're going to do here is you're going to blackpill young kids. You're going to make them nihilists. They're not going to believe in the system if it keeps running this way. People are just going to cash out. And they're just going to say, I'm not going to buy a house. I'm not going to start a family. The system's totally rigged against me. And I'm, got to be honest with you, I'm like sick and tired of paying half my income to criminals who, I'm just talking the illegal aliens right here. And we can handle the American citizens. The American citizens that are committing fraud are a totally separate and important conversation. But maybe like start with the first thing first. Like I am paying half my income away from my children, my American children, in order to fund illegals living lavishly who hate my country and hate me. What a sick system that is, Congressman. What should happen to fix it now?
Number one, you're right. I want young people to love America. I know even in, my political organization here in New Jersey, we've got so many new young people that are tired of it. They're tired of these old ways. They're tired of these old liberals telling them what to do and that they've got to give up most of what they do in their life for people that don't deserve it. You're right, number one. Secondly, what do? We work with that scalpel. I'm a dentist, so I like to use sometimes medical terminology. We work with that scalpel. Do we just completely remove SNAP? No. There are people that need it, that are on it for a while, and then do well in the world and move on. But do we qualify it? If you're illegal, it has to be clear, number one, if you're getting SNAP, that you have to be able to prove your citizenship. Not a big deal, picture ID, etc. That's why, by the way, the libs love trying to say, yeah, anybody can get a driver's license because it's a form of ID. They're trying to make that more difficult to do. But we can do that. There are various forms of presenting ID. You're not legal. First of all, if you're not legal, you should be detained, go through due process, and then deported, period. That's the answer to that. And then for everyone else, even if they don't go through that process, which they should, but again, if they're in places like New Jersey, they may not be sometimes. We've got to make sure federally that we qualify what we give people. You have to be a legal American, a legal law-abiding American. And we can do that. We did good work with Medicaid. The media doesn't speak about all that, we did in Medicaid in Congress. The House worked really hard on it. And again, we made sure that it was much better, that we weren't just giving it away. We need to do that with SNAP. We need to do that with the ACA. It's good. Again, we're populist, conservative Republicans. We do want to help our people.
Yes.
And help them to move forward in life, but not to plunder and waste our money. And the horrible part of it, and you brought it out, is that these people the people we're giving money to laugh at America, hate America,
Yes.
commit crimes in America, and we give them stuff. There's no sane or insane country in the world that would do that.
Yes, it's totally debasing. It's actually a practice in humiliation, and it's self-debasement. And it's run, these are systems set up by people that really do not like Americans. They really don't like the native population of this country. They despise them. And you can see it in seniors getting, I don't know, a couple $100 a month after paying into Social Security for 40 years.
Yep.
And again, like gangbanger from Guatemala can go load up his EBT card for $30,000 and go sell it on the streets of, Los Angeles. It's a perverse system. It needs to change. It'd be really nice to just message. It'd be really nice to just message that to people, that we can, like, that Republicans care enough to go and change that. I know that that's working in New Jersey. I know that the people of New Jersey are saying, we're sick and tired of having leaders that aren't from New Jersey. Mickey Sherrill isn't from New Jersey. They don't care about the rights of people of New Jersey. And I think that's why Jack Ciattarelli is looking pretty good in this election cycle. Can you give me an update, Congressman?
He is looking good, and we're working hard on it. In fact, little update, we decided today, President Trump and I are having a town meeting tonight at 7:00, and I hope a lot of folks from New Jersey will be listening to that. If Jack just gets let me say this, President Trump got the most votes in the state of New Jersey of anybody who's ever run for office. That's an interesting fact that people
Wow.
don't know. If Jack can just get 2/3 or 3/4 of that, and that's what we want to remind those Trump voters, they've got to vote and work for Jack Ciattarelli. If they care about Donald Trump, if they care about me in Congress, they've got to do this. It's really important. And yes, he is doing well. It's looking good. And the reason it is, you pinned it right on the head. And, it's very simple. We are sick and tired of it all. Sick and tired of open borders being a sanctuary state. And we're funding those open borders because in New Jersey, we'll help you with your clothing, your transportation, your housing, possibly education, whatever else it is. Murphy declared it a sanctuary state. They're tired of our schools, the things that are being done to our schools, where kids are told, and funding in New Jersey can be based on this, that these kids are told by administrators in the school they don't have to talk to their parents, that they can change their sex, their name, and their pronoun. I spoke to a young man who's now in high school just yesterday, and he was talking about he's now going to private school, but the school he was going to, they had a litter box in the back, and there was a young kid using it. I mean, it's bizarre. How about biological men competing in women's sports? Murphy supported that. Mikey Sherrill supports that. It's wrong, and it's degrading the women who've competed so hard. We've dashed the dreams and hopes of women who've competed in sports. I don't know. Do you want me to go on and on? I'll give you the list. The energy costs in New Jersey. It's gone up everywhere, energy. We closed down 6 gas plants. We closed down a coal plant, closed down a nuclear plant, didn't replace it with anything, tried to jam up wind turbines down everybody's throat, industrial wind turbines. Nobody wanted it. I was fighting it for years. President Trump came in. We worked together. He did it. It wouldn't happen without him, an executive order to stop it. But meanwhile, we wasted billions and billions, not millions, billions of dollars in subsidies to foreign corporations for wind turbines. We've had enough. We're sick and tired of it. I believe Jack Ciattarelli's got the answers. He gives the right answers. He's got the guts. He wants to do it. All he wants to be is governor of New Jersey. He's not looking for anything else. I believe he's going to win. We're going to do everything we can to help him to win.
We have the electoral map from 2024 right here with President Trump doing great, getting nearly just shy of 2 million votes to 20 to win here with Kamala Harris. And this no doubt includes perhaps some criminal aliens voting, illegal voting. We've been covering many stories of illegal voting in New Jersey. The governor was bragging that he had illegals living in the governor's mansion in New Jersey. What an insane timeline. People are sick of this, right, Congressman?
They are sick of it. And I'm a little proud of that map that you have up there. I'm in the 2nd congressional district. It's the largest district in the state of New Jersey. In fact, it's larger than the entire state of Delaware, my district. And if you look at that big, huge, chunk of red, except for one county in southern New Jersey, that's ours. We've been getting increasingly more Republican for the very reasons you're talking about. These isn't limousine Republicans. These aren't, in fact, the billionaires and the limos, that's the Democrats. These are working people. They're construction people. They're people that are using their hands. They're people, and they're also professionals, but they're people who've worked for a living and just hate to see this happening in New Jersey. We can do this. I really believe we can do this, and we're going to push hard.
You said something, Congressman, in your first answer. You said that President Trump got the most votes of any Republican in the history of New Jersey. Is that correct? Did I hear that correctly?
You heard that correctly. Absolutely. I'm not sure he knows that. I talk to him usually every week to 10 days, but I'm going to, tonight, when we do this town hall meeting, I'm going to bring that up because I know he's going to love that. Most in any Republican candidate in the history of the state of New Jersey. That is correct.
Wow. So Jack's going to pull it off. What do you think?
I think he's gonna. I think election day is going to be huge. You got to know there's certain things Democrats love. They love vote by mail. They love it. I mean, even when they don't need it, they're not sick, they're not out of town, they're not anything, but they vote by mail like crazy. So always in the vote by mail, it doesn't ever look as good for Republicans. I won by 17 points, 18 points. I was losing vote by mail. You don't count them. But the early voting on the machine and then election day. Election day is huge. This is going to be a big election day. I think it's queuing up. I think people are just cumulatively tired, like we said, sick and tired of it all. I didn't even give you the whole list, man. It just gets old. This government just try. Here you go. 2035, everybody's supposedly got to drive a an electric automobile. They were trying for a while, Murphy and Mikey Sherrill and all them, they were against gas stoves and gas hot water heaters and gas heat. I mean, who are that? Let the American people, let New Jerseyans decide what kind of heat they want, what kind of automobile they want. If they want an electric car, great. I don't begrudge them that. That's fine. That's what America's about, free choices. But don't jam it down our throats. They love to jam down your throat things that you don't want because they're the government. They're better than you. They're smarter than you. You're going to listen, you're going to obey, and you're going to pay for it. Sick and tired of it.
Sick and tired of it. I think people are sick and tired of Barack Obama, frankly, coming in, parachuting in for like just a second or two to berate and humiliate and bark at voters and tell them what to do. This dude's moment's over, man. Like, and people are, I think, starting to really see that there really was no magic there. It was just all manufactured. It's completely something that was a creation. Fugazi, it was put together by Hollywood and the corporate media. And you see that in some very pathetic Barack Obama moments, like when he sat there in Philadelphia trying to lecture black men about, how they have to support Kamala, right? Because she's a sister. This is like it is one of the most remarkable and most humiliating clips I've ever seen. It was not received well, frankly, by the population that Obama was speaking to, young black men. Clearly, in the results of the election, obviously it backfired. But now Obama's in New Jersey, and I'm wondering if this is going to backfire. And this is my final question to you, Congressman. Here's Jack Citarelli commenting on Barack Obama parachuting into New Jersey, which is kind of amazing because you'd assume that this is a blue state, right? Like, this shows real desperation from Democrats. Let's listen.
Obama said you're sucking up to Trump.
Who said that?
President Obama.
President who?
Yes, exactly.
Your commentary, Congressman.
You know what I say about Obama? Seriously, and you're right once again, man. This was a Hollywood production when he ran. He had every major legacy media outlet, all the Hollywood stars. I mean, it literally was like a movie production. I mean, it was unbelievable. And people wanted to try something new and different. So yeah, folks voted for him. But then we found out where it led us. And you know what I say about him now? Now he doesn't quite have the Hollywood production around him all the time. He's kind of a cranky, mean guy. I mean, who is he? So he's saying that if you happen to choose to be African American and be a conservative and vote for someone that Barack Obama, doesn't like, you're a bad man and you're letting down your race, your family, your country. How dare he say that? Again, that's what America's about. America's about choices and freedom. And he doesn't, no, you got to be, what he's saying is, you're black, you've got to vote Democrat, even if the Democrats screw you, even if the Democrats don't do a good job for you, you've just got to vote the way. You know what I say? We need to earn the vote of all our communities, every community that's out there in this country. Do a better job, work harder for them, and see that they, that life gets better. And the thing I talked about a lot in the black communities in my district, are things really better over the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years? I mean, within, one little town, I'll tell you a quick story, Atlantic City, New Jersey. Atlantic City, New Jersey is predominantly African American. There are some other groups, many. We got Vietnamese, Bangladesh, all kinds of groups in there. It's in my district. But I was talking to some black folks, and they were saying to me, they remembered, they were older, back, in the 50s and 60s, where there were hundreds of thriving black businesses in New Jersey, and particularly in Atlantic City. Now, I'm not saying everything was perfect then, and there was prejudice, and there were things that need to be fixed. There always are. We're human. Even America, the greatest country on the earth, we still need to fix things. But there were all these business. There's none now. We try to make a society that's dependent upon public housing, that's dependent upon SNAP. SNAP it can be a really good thing and help people through tough times. It's not meant to be multi-generational. It's not meant to be great-grandparents, grandparents, parents, children. It's meant to be help you along, and then you do good, you succeed, you get an education, you get into a trade, and you're doing it on your own. They have not been, the Black community, in my opinion, sincerely, has not been served well. It's been a detriment to their families and to their economic growth. And I think that they're starting to realize and understand that. But how dare Obama say, oh, you've got to vote this way, otherwise you're, I wouldn't even say, basically, but you're a useless human being. You're a bad man. You're not true to your race. You're not true to your color. Come on, let people make a decision for themselves.
Yeah, it's crazy. I guess, final question here, Congressman, since you were a Democrat and since you know Barack Obama and President Trump, perhaps you could elucidate for us the differences between the two of them. You just said that Barack Obama is a pretty nasty, mean, grumpy man. Is that being played out here?
And I didn't know him well, but I mean, I've met him obviously and was at the convention and all. And then, I was already starting to have doubts. Remember, I was always a conservative Democrat. There used to be Democrats believed in helping people, believed in doing the right thing, but were conservatives. They love their country. Here's the deal. The difference between President Donald Trump and Barack Obama. So many differences. I could spend an hour with you, but it all comes down to this. Donald Trump loves America. Donald Trump believes in Americanism. Donald Trump believes in American exceptionalism. Barack Obama believes in mediocrity and globalism. He believes, and so do many, many of the Democrats now. They don't love this feeling of, my God, America is a gift from God, the greatest country ever on the face of the earth. Nah, to them, America is the same as everybody else. They want us to be more like Europe. They want us to have that mediocrity. They don't want people to aspire to greatness and individuality. It's a really significant difference. And to be very serious for a moment, we're at a crossroads. Not only in our state of New Jersey, but in the country, so importantly, in the United States of America. Some people said, gee, when Trump got elected and we got a Republican Congress, we're out of the woods. No, we are not. We're at knife's edge. We're just starting to peek into the woods, get our toe into the woods. They're so deep, so thick. If we're not careful, we can lose America. It's a big deal. We have to defy history here, which always says after a few hundred years that great countries fall and diminish. And America is such a great country and so unique. I don't want to see that. You don't want to see that happen.
No, we absolutely do not. We just thank you for your bravery, temerity, for switching, for following your constituents and the will of the people that you actually represent, which is amazing. The legal residents of New Jersey, and for making that bold switch, especially at a time when it was really quite politically fraught. I think that the Democratic Party has been weakened severely from an institutional and regulatory and cultural level, even since you made your switch. And they were very angry at you then.
May I say one thing?
Yes.
Just a little interesting factoid. I'm the only person in the history of Congress there's a few people that have switched over the years on and off through the decades and centuries, but the only person that ever went from the majority party at the time to the minority party. And I did that knowing full well what I did, but it's how strongly I felt, in my heart and soul about it. I really do. Right. I'm a believer.
The great Congressman Jeff Van Drew from New Jersey, proudly representing this sweet boating culture, as you can see here in the top of his X profile. You should follow Jeff Van Drew. He's got tens of thousands of followers here on X, and you should be one of them. He's just one of these straight shooters who is, the rarest quality in all of Washington. Actually brave, and he listens to his constituents. That is the rarest thing you'll find in D.C. Jeff Van Drew is it. Godspeed, Congressman. Here's hoping for a great election night.
You're not kidding. We are. It's going to be a good night. Thank you for the work you do in bringing the truth out to all the people.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you.